Hey guys, today I want to tell you about how to make some chaga tea. So with our cold season in front of us right now, there's a lot of people who are getting sick out there and their immune system maybe needs just a little bit of a boost. I'm going to show you a natural chaga tea recipe to help you with your immune system this fall. Okay, so we've got a piece of chaga right here. This is what it looks like in the rough. Chaga is grows on birch trees here in Alaska, and I go out and harvest this in the wintertime. You take my little hatchet out there and harvest it off the birch trees, then I thoroughly dry it, and then I grind it. Okay, so I have a big home grinder, and this is what chaga tea looks like after it's ground. You can see it looks a little powdery here because it's really finely ground, but it looks like coffee grounds. And here's the chaga tea right here. And what I'm going to do is to show you how to make the chaga tea. You're making a concentration. So I'm going to take, I got half a cup spoon or a half a cup serving measuring cup here. I'm just going to go ahead and get a half a cup of chaga and put it in a saucepan. Then I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with water. And I'm going to bring this to barely a simmer. Okay, so not boiling, just barely a simmer. And I'm going to let it simmer for like, let's say 20 minutes, turn it off and just let it steep. Once it's steeped, I'm going to go ahead and strain this chaga and go ahead and pour it in here and strain it really well, because these grounds, you don't want the grounds in there, you just want the good liquid. So you're going to go ahead and strain this. Let's say this is filled up with a chaga concentrate. So then I'm going to go ahead and pour that chaga concentrate into my pitcher here. Okay, pour that in. I'm going to do that 3 times. So the same chaga can be used 3 times. Okay, so once you start pouring off that chaga and you're pouring it through here, and you see it goes from like a dark coffee to almost like a light colored tea, you know that you've got the best of your chaga out of there, and you can go ahead and toss those grounds. Or you can add them to your kombucha if you want to do a kombucha ferment to kind of pull some more good beneficial components out of that chaga. But once you've got yourself a base, you're going to go ahead and, if you like it just plain chaga, that's great. I like chaga, but I like it even better if I toss in a little bit of herbal tea. Personally, I like the country peach passion, and I'll put maybe about 4 tea bags full into a cup of tea, and then add that in there, so kind of like an iced tea. And then go ahead and add your honey. So we do our own bees, so I go ahead and add our own honey in here, just enough to sweeten it. And you want to make sure when you're adding your honey that you don't add it in when the chaga is really, really hot. You don't want to kill off the good enzymes from your honey. So if you got the raw honey, make sure it's only lukewarm before you add that in. And then go ahead and fill it up to the top with water to dilute it. Now, some people think that this right here is a little strong. I like mine really strong personally, but if you don't like it strong, you can dilute it. Like when I give it to my grandkids, I dilute it and maybe put in just a little bit more honey. But here's a shot of chaga, and this is just full of just the highest score of antioxidants on the ORAC chart, far better than blueberries or any of the other high antioxidant fruits or vegetables. So that is a scientific fact. You can't be denied. A lot of people say, oh, well, this is great to cure cancer, and I can't make any of those claims like that, but it does help your immune system by having a very, very high free radical fighting component. It's supposed to be antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, and a host of other great polysaccharides that are in there to help treat a variety of different illnesses. But if nothing else, drinking chaga tea for its antioxidant content is extremely beneficial. And so I will have 1 to 3 of these a day, depending on how I'm feeling, if it's cold season or not. So this is how you make chaga tea. I highly recommend it. You can harvest it yourself for free if you can go on public lands and find where the chaga is growing. Otherwise, then you could find a local chaga dealer right in your area that harvests this and keep it local. Or you can go down to in South Central Alaska. We have an herbal shop that sells already made chaga tea that's really easy to use yourself. But anyway, you do your chaga, just do it, especially this time of year when your kids are getting sick and it's safe for the entire family. And it tastes really good. It's a really pleasant tea, so.